Hello everyone and welcome back to the Pillar channel. I'm Pablo, your host, and today with me we have a very special guest. We have Nicholas Merton. Nicholas, the DataDash. Welcome to the channel.
Pablo, thanks for having me, man. It's always a pleasure.
A quick intro for anyone that's not aware of who Nicholas is. He is one of the go-to YouTubers for market analysis and the crypto space, kind of like speculation, and he's a great source of information for that. So if you're curious about investing in the crypto market, he's definitely the go-to person. So yeah, I'm gonna leave a link for you guys in the description box below in case you wanna go and check out his channel, as you should. And he is now running a competition, isn't it, for charity, together with
Yeah.
Altcoin Fantasies.
Yeah, so it's a really cool charity event and stuff as we're stepping towards the holiday season. I know many people here at DataDash, that for the company that I run, but along with that, a variety of other companies in the crypto space, we kind of came together and realized we wanted to do something nice for the holiday season. It's the season to give. So we're actually doing a cryptocurrency charity giveaway. And are basically going to be donating to a variety of different organizations, from Ocean Conservancy to Trees of the Future, which was one of my picks. It's one of my favorite organizations I've donated to in the past, Shriners Hospital, and also Binance Charities. So we're helping out kind of a variety of different charities, kind of diversifying all these different parties and showcasing that, crypto can do something good for a lot of people across the world in a lot of different situations. The basic kind of thesis of how it's going to work is that anyone can participate. We actually have a bunch of prizes that are available for those who donate. So you basically enter into a lottery in this case. There will be obviously the free participation, but also as well, if you make a small donation in this case, you can be entered into the raffle and possibly win some really good prizes across the board. So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a really nice thing to kind of wrap up the year, especially in a time where people have, I think, been kind of casting doubt on crypto.
It's been a rough, half a year. It's been kind of rough. I mean, we came back from like a kind of rough 2018. It kind of like fluctuated a bit, but then it went up again, and then everyone was happy and warm inside, and then out of nowhere, boom, another another
I
hit.
I always summarize it this way. The thing is on my channel, I think one of the things that kind of makes our content stand out is we always try to focus on a longer term viewpoint. Some people in crypto are very focused on the kind of minute day-to-day time frame moves in crypto. And the thing that's pretty interesting is that we're about double the market value for the entire market of cryptocurrencies than where we were just about a year ago from today, back around December of 2016, 2017. So it's a pretty good milestone. We've actually been able to grow markets since then, since that kind of rock bottom moment in crypto after we corrected about 80% from the 2017 highs. But outside of that, yes, we have had some correction in the market because I think we had an exacerbated run up going into the beginning portion of this year up into June of 2019. We exited out of what's known as the accumulation phase, basically where Bitcoin has gone through its 80% correction and kind of pushes sideways for a while. We exited out of that way too quickly, and we got a little bit ahead of ourselves. So I think in this case, we're pretty much on track. If you look at any of the major data science models, if you take a look at the charts in the long term, we're right on track for where we should be. This is a period of time where I've gotten more optimistic, I've gotten more bullish personally. But again, that's coming through, again, days, weeks, and months worth of analysis, taking a look at these markets.
So coming back a little bit to the competition, why were the charities chosen, the specific ones that you guys chose? Like, why these ones?
Yeah, so there are ones that are very close to us, like Shriners Hospital is a very personal one. It's a very big one here where I live in the United States. Ocean Conservancy, this was one that was a very big choice by one of the many members here who have kind of founded this initiative. I chose Trees for the Future because I know that they're a great organization due to the fact that they actually have a very low cost to replanting trees. It's not only so basically to explain some of these organizations. Trees for the Future aims at producing the ability for local farmers in a lot of developing regions across the world to get access to trees. And this isn't just an ecological kind of movement in the sense that they're planting trees in this case to reduce CO2. But along with that, it actually helps them and the way that they actually produce basically crops through their agriculture operations, where you can actually boost the production of the amount of crops that you generate, and therefore boost GDP, boost the wellness and the wealth of these individuals. So I think it's kind of a win-win scenario. It's better economically, it's better environmentally. And Shriners Hospital, Ocean Conservancy, it's pretty self-explanatory. They kind of help out in different regards for a lot of children in need in the sense of Shriners Hospital. And for Ocean Conservancy, it's obviously towards initiatives, a variety of different initiatives for bringing about conservancy to a lot of different species throughout the ocean. This was one that Cynthia, who runs Altcoin Fantasy, is a really big fan of. And as you might know, Binance Labs is pretty spread out. They do a lot of different things. But one thing that I really like that Binance Labs does is they not only do charity like the other organizations we're working with, but they actually work towards pushing use of cryptocurrencies to these individuals. So there will be a lot of cases where Binance goes into local villages in the areas that they're helping in, and they'll actually get them set up with their first cryptocurrency wallet and managing their own keys and actually sending transactions. And it's cool. It's not just a message of charity and doing good. It's actual cryptocurrency charity. It's showing people that they have the ability to manage their money, become their own bank, and truly liberate themselves financially, which I think is pretty cool.
It is. It is very cool, because I was just about to ask you, how can crypto help? And I think that answers it a little bit. But if you can talk a little bit more about like what you think that crypto can help in that regard.
Yeah, so I think the issue in this case with a lot of charitable efforts is two things. There's a lot of bureaucracy and there's a lack of transparency sometimes. The issue in the sense of bureaucracy is that much like not only government programs, but a lot of like private charity organizations, you're going through so many middlemen, so many layers, and you're having to use the traditional payment networks that you have to use when you're making a payment for your cup of coffee. So there's a lot of fees, there's a lot of middlemen in the process that again add cost in this case. Whereas with crypto, when you make these donations, in many cases, you can get directly to the person you're sending to. It's peer-to-peer. So you can donate directly to the organization or company, in this case, that's operating these certain things. The other thing as well, as I mentioned, was transparency. On a blockchain, everything is transparent. You can know that the money you're sending in this case is going towards these charitable events or these charitable companies. So I think that's a really cool thing. I mean, in the short term, this is already some of the benefits that we're seeing here for the Altcoin Fantasy event. But along with that, it's something that is going to be so beneficial in the long term for people's trust of monetary transactions, and then also cutting out so much unnecessary bureaucracy and getting down to the base service, which is me sending money to someone.
Yeah, the point that you made about like, especially for me at least personally, especially private initiatives, I'm always like a bit skeptical about sending money somewhere thinking that I'm doing something good, and then at the end I'm not really, or like not 100% of that money is going somewhere that it should be going to. So yeah, so sure, yeah, blockchain can sure help that.
Absolutely.
Steering a little bit away now from the competition and more towards like the whole crypto and blockchain space. What I want to hear a little bit of your opinions on what you think were the highlights of the year that we just gone through. Like what not only regarding market but also like technology. What are your takeaways from 2019?
Yeah, it's honestly, I won't lie, it has definitely been a relatively quiet year, at least, I kind of set my bar high for like what gets me really interested because there's a lot of talk in crypto. But I would say it's interesting. You guys kind of fit into this category as well at Pillar. I think we're seeing a whole new wave of crypto wallets. And I gave a speech about this in Las Vegas at World CryptoCon and basically talked about how I believe this year, we saw the early signs of it, but going into 2020 and beyond, we're going to see a whole new wave of wallets that are going to be the standard for how people interact with crypto. It's not we're going to go away from this 10-year trend of accepting the idea that centralized exchanges or platforms are going to be where we do our business and where we store our money. I mean, if we haven't learned anything from Mt. Gox to what happened in Quadriga CX in Canada just back about a year ago, I mean, these problems are continuously persistent. There is always going to be hacks on money, which is a huge breach of security. And also along with that as well, exchanges aren't evolving to the times. They're not providing the range of services that are required. And again, I think we should get back to the roots of people being their own banks and having that same functionality, if not more. So we've seen wallets like Celsius Network, which has been doing great. I think you guys have a wonderful user experience. The functionality as well, Pillar looks really awesome. Along with that as well, there's Argent. There's so many wallets coming to the forefront that are getting me very excited that this new wave of wallets are going to, well, I really call them 2.0 wallets. They're going to not only be the interface for people to use in crypto, but they're going to take us from the less than 1% of global adoption that we have to 5, 10, 15% over the next few years, which really has me excited. That's going to scale out the cryptocurrency space. And it's going to make them much more practical and understandable to where I don't have to understand what Bitcoin is. I don't have to understand how public and private key encryption works. It just works. It's just going to work at the end of the day. So I think that's what really has me excited. And seeing some of the lending pools like Celsius Network that are paying 8% interest on your stable coins that are pegged to the dollar. I mean, that's anywhere from 50 to 100 times the rate of what you're going to get in a savings account. It's absolutely unheard of.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. So are those like your main predictions for next year? Do you see the technology evolving in the sense of like usability, maybe increasing the number of users, and anything regarding market at all?
Yes, there's a few things here. I'd say first off, that's one of my boldest predictions.
Okay.
It's going to have to be that wallets have to evolve in this case. Crypto itself is not going to be as valuable of an industry if all of our money is parked on a few central silos like exchanges. We've gotten away with that for now because it's such a short market, and this market is mainly made up of a few kind of people who are very idealistic and also speculators. To take this to the masses, the 99% who haven't touched crypto, we're going to need for that to happen. You need to have self-custodianship. There can't be what I call and many others call the honeypot, which is basically an incentive for exchange hackers to try to find ways to break into their cold storage and steal their funds. The second thing I would say as well is that the halving event is going to, yet again, as it has in the past, carry Bitcoin's price forward. And I did a video explaining this. A lot of people, for those who may not know, the halving event is where Bitcoin's supply schedule is reduced in half. So basically, every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin created in every block is reduced in half. The reason why this is going to be a very important event is that on a daily time frame, there is continuous sell-side pressure from the miners who are generating those block rewards, who are producing and validating transactions in the Bitcoin network. And I think we last calculated it just about a week or two ago. It's about $13.5 million of sell-side pressure every day on Bitcoin's price. So that means that just in order to maintain the price we're at in Bitcoin, this means $13.5 million of new capital has to enter in the market every day. But when that gets cut in half, we now have a buy-side supply in this case. We have more buyers coming. If that 13.5 million of buyers not only maintains the same, if not if it grows, the sell side is getting cut in half. So now we're seeing an inevitable case where there's more buy-side demand leading price to inevitably rise over time. And that's why I say that it hasn't been priced in that nature. It can't be until it actually happens. So that's going to be a huge thing for Bitcoin's price. It's going to spark the next cycle going into 2020, 2021. Outside of that, in the sense of predictions, I think with both of those combined, we're going to get more users, and it's actually going to be real utility usage of cryptocurrencies, which I think is exciting outside of just many of us who just speculate or invest in crypto.
Yeah, I'm excited to see more people. That's what I want to. That's what I want to see, more people in the Pillar wallet.
Yeah, no, seriously, I think honestly, again, a Pillar and many other startups and stuff, they're pioneering this shared vision, and I see it as this kind of like shared initiative where it's like I think all of us have this kind of objective to see money move away from the exchanges. We don't want to go back to the world of banks. Like that's not what we're here for. We're here for a variety of different interfaces to managing our money, and that's really what Pillar, that's what Argent, that's what all these wallets are. And I think that's so fascinating. It's a competition to basically build the best experience for users. And that's what I want to see in this space more than anything.
Well, thank you very much. I just want to remind everyone that Pillar is actually a proud sponsor of, one of the proud sponsors of the competition. We're giving away as prizes $500 worth of Pillar tokens, 10 bags of Pillar swag, and also a $500 donation to all charities involved in the competition. So again, Nick, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for this interview here. I hope that the first annual competition is a huge smashing success, because we need more of that in the space to also show people that crypto can also do good
No, Pablo, thank you for having me on, and thank you guys as well for being yet again another partner in this charitable event. I think it's so important to not only get the name out there for crypto as a whole, but it's just cool to see the whole space coming together for something good. And I appreciate your guys' continued friendship as well over the Pillar team. You guys have been working really hard over the last few years.
Thank you very much. See ya.